So if you're in the police promotion process, you already know it's competitive. So how are you going to make sure that your answers level up? What do I mean by that? Well, your promotion board could be interviewing 6 or 7 people every day. How are you going to make sure that you're the one who at the end of the day, they remember for being the one that they want to promote, the one that they want to promote straight away? So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about one of the 5 different elements that we discussed the other evening at one of our Promotion Academy webinars. This is where we support people through intensive one-to-ones, small group practice webinars, recordings of the webinars, online material, and 40 years worth of experience in the police sector and 31 years of coaching people to succeed in promotion boards and specialist interviews. And that's me. My name's Brendan from Blue Light, and this is exactly what I do and my team does. We ensure that you are successful through coming up with innovative ideas, and we're going to dive straight into those ideas with the first one of these ideas to make sure that your answers level up out of the 5. This will be a series of 5 videos. This is the very first one. So the very first one is about themes. So one of the things that often people miss out on in their promotion board answers is focusing on the key things, the key themes that are important for the chief officer team. So if you're going for sergeant, inspector, or any other rank within the police service, you are now part of the management team, and what concerns the chief should be what concerns you. And one of the things that we like our candidates, our clients to identify is what are those things. And we even go as far as recommending to them that they book some time in, if they can, with one of the chief officers for the force. Even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, or even if they can just grab them in the corridor if they're at headquarters. If failing that, a chief superintendent or superintendent, someone that's in a very senior position that wakes up in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, worrying about whatever the thing is. And when they've done that, there's 3 themes that are emerging. The first one, performance, the second one, well-being, and the third one, standards. And I'm going to go into those in a little bit more detail now. First one, performance. What we encourage is not to focus on KPIs. KPIs are outcomes. They're not the sort of performance that we're looking for. We're looking for something that's deeper in our candidates, so they can articulate something that's just deeper than thrashing your officers and beating them over the head with KPIs, because that doesn't achieve anything. So one of the areas that we do look at in respect of performance, and there's multiple different facets to this, but one of the ones that crops up all the time is performance in respect of the standards of investigation. Now, if you go to the College of Policing Authorised Professional Practice, you can probably see why things are so confusing in terms of investigative standards, because you go to the APP for investigation of crime, and then that takes you into all sorts of other rabbit holes. There's all sorts of links in there to other papers, to other recommendations. And quite frankly, it's just too big a read. It's too big, it's too complicated, and it's no surprise that people are actually confused about what's expected of them in respect of the standards of performance for the investigation of crimes. And so this is something that we focus on, making sure that you've got some way of weaving into your answers, whether it's an answer about working with others, an answer about decision making, an answer about prioritizing, whatever the question is, we need to be weaving this in as a golden thread. The second golden thread is well-being and welfare of your officers, leading to retention. And again, there's some data around there that you can quote in respect of performance, and all these things are linked in, by the way, they're not like separate silos. So well-being and welfare is often being quoted now by chiefs as being a priority within the force, but you'll often see that there's very little substance to that. So chiefs are talking about it being a big priority, but how do you actually implement it? How do you actually implement the welfare policy, the well-being and welfare policy, if indeed there is one? So it might be something to strategize about, but it's short on detail, or it might be big on detail. If it's big on detail in your force and your force has got lots in place, then simply quoting what's in place isn't going to get you promoted. So they want to know about how you're going to deliver it. So that is another theme that should be weaving in to all of your answers on the board. And the third one, standards. This is a big one. So just about every chief officer has come out and said standards. And what they're talking about there is ethical standards, ethics within the force. Because there's not a day that goes by, and I know this because I've got Google Alerts set up with the phrase police misconduct. And every day without fail, I will get several emails highlighting to me police misconduct hearings that have hit the press, either local or national or both. And they're highlighting incredibly damaging accounts of police officer behaviour. If it's not WhatsApp groups, it's police officers behaving in a way, demonstrating their behaviour in such a way that it's serious sexual offences towards their fellow officers or members of the public, or stealing, or taking inappropriate photographs, or sharing information, or hey, the list just goes on. And so every day there's something damaging in the press. There's one metropolitan force out there that's got 130 police officers. It's not the Met, but a metropolitan force, not the Met. It's another big force. It's got 130 plus police officers who are suspended at this moment in time awaiting gross misconduct hearings. And according to the chief officer from that force, they're expecting about half of them to go to jail. They're expecting half of them are going to get sent to prison and face gross misconduct hearings. The other half are just going to get dismissed. You know, some will not, but they're expecting the majority of them to either get dismissed or go to prison. That's 130 plus. And that is a serious headache. So again, if you can weave something into your answers about how you are going to create, actually you don't create, you enable a culture of where officers have got high ethical standards. How are you going to do that? So these are the things that we discuss. These are the things that we go deep into, so that when you go for your interview board, your promotion board, you've got really good answers that are well honed, that you've practiced, that you actually believe in, that you're actually doing, because some of you might be in temporary roles. So this isn't just about providing guidance for you to succeed in the promotion process. In our team of coaches, the majority of us, actually I'm the lowest rank out of all of them. I served at the lowest rank. I was an inspector, but the rest of the team are all like retired superintendents, chief inspectors. They've got an incredible amount of experience. They're some of the best leaders I've ever had the honour of working with and alongside. We have now got over 250 years worth of experience on our team of some of the best senior police officers, senior police leaders I've ever come across. And we're going to add to that team as well, because the demand for our services is just growing. And so what we find ourselves doing is actually we sometimes talk about how we're actually performing in a way that's an add-on to what the force should be doing to enable and coach their leaders to be better leaders. So it's not just about promotion board success, although that is what you're interested in. That's why you're watching this video. But we feel as though we've got a responsibility to help develop the leaders of the future, which is why our academy program doesn't stop when you get promoted. As soon as you get promoted, we start talking to you about, right, which rank next, or what specialist area next? What are you going to be driving your career towards, and how can we make sure it's successful? Anyway, if that sounds good and that sounds appealing, it's more than good, by the way. Just check out our Trustpilot reviews. We've got over 750 5-star reviews, and they're all like glowing. 1 star to 4 star. I think we've got like a handful. And there's normally people just grumbling about something. Actually, half of them have never even been clients. We've got people grumbling about us that have never been clients. So we just don't get it sometimes. Anyway, it's just people trolling us. Take a look at the Trustpilot reviews. Don't just take my word for it. And if this sounds like it's appealing to you, then there's a form below that you can complete. And once you've completed that form, we'll have a 45-minute to an hour-long discussion with you, a discovery call. It's completely free. There's no compulsion at the end of it, where we'll talk to you about where you are now, where you want to be, and what you're struggling with. And we'll see what we can do to help you in those struggles, to ensure that you're successful at your board first time, or if you've failed before, to make sure that you're successful the second time. And we're so good at it that we actually give you a guarantee. So if you don't succeed, we'll give you a full refund. I mean, how about that? Just like, is that not insane? A lot of my friends and family say it is, but it just seriously isn't, because our success rate is that good. It's that good. And And if you don't pass, it means that we've failed you. So, there's no reason why once you join our academy, you won't succeed. Anyway, hopefully we'll see you soon in one of those webinars, and watch out for the next 4 videos in this series where I'll be talking about things like fiscal responsibility, forming a vision for the future, how do you add the pen drop value so they actually stop writing and drop their pen, and the last one will be the one that really sets you apart, because the last one in this series of videos will be how you set your answers apart so that you are so different from all the others, but in a way that is just awesome different. I mean, awesome, seriously awesome different. And they will notice the difference. As soon as you start talking, they'll notice the difference. So I look forward to seeing you on one of those videos in this series. And I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye for now.